Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining and welcome. Welcome to your Blueprint to Instagram Mastery. I see some familiar faces here. It's great to see everybody. And if you haven't already, just mute your microphone just so there's no background noise in the as we're recording. We will be recording this. And we got just a quick slideshow here. It's not going to be very long. There'll be some people coming in that I can admit here. We've got a little brief PowerPoint. There'll be time for questions at the end, and we're going to go through the agenda. You're going to learn really how to grow on Instagram. And if you have some questions along the way, because I want to keep them till the end, just so we can keep things flowing smoothly, drop them in the chat and we'll pick up everything at the end. So you're going to learn a little bit about, well, a lot, hopefully, about my journey with Instagram and how you can pick that up as well. This is not going to be a digital presentation on algorithms and technology and numbers and so on. This is going to be, here's how you get it done, because that's really how I did it, like by trial by fire sort of thing. And my goal here is to eliminate that that pain for you, so you're not building your Instagram account on a trial by fire. And then at the end, you'll see some next steps here on how we can move forward. So if I know there'll be some people coming in here late, but once again, if you have some comments or questions, drop them in the chat. We will get to them. And I do have somebody here, my assistant, Benny's in the background there. He's going to capture some comments if I miss them. But for now, we're going to move on. We'll move forward, and you're going to hear my story, and then we're going to talk about how this can work for you as well. And really, if this is, if you're any of these three things, if you're a dog professional / business owner, if you own a small business already in any industry, it doesn't have to be dog training. I am a dog trainer, but, or if you're just beginning your journey on social media, or if you're already an influencer and you have a sizable following, this is for you, because you will learn a few things. You're going to learn what's working for you and what needs to change, maybe to attract more clients, because you may not know what that is now. You're just kind of wondering, what the heck is this? How come things aren't happening the way I'd like them? Also, if you want to grow your Instagram following, we're going to learn some tips and tricks along the way on that, and how that ties into enhancing your brand recognition. Even if you don't have a brand, there's a way that people are going to start to recognize who you are and how you can make yourself recognizable and identifiable and help people, or make people, basically inspire them to want to come back for more. And you're going to be able to learn ways that you can take action, because there's nothing worse than doing the same old, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And we tend to get into that mode when we're posting, because we frantically go, I'm just going to keep posting more and more and more and more. But if nothing's changing, you're wasting time, and often you're wasting money, because time is money. And in addition to tying into money, you're going to learn some little secrets on how you can actually, once you grow your Instagram, how you can turn that into a revenue generating machine, because that's what it is. And if you stay till the end, you'll get not only a certificate of attendance that looks all pretty like this, which will be come to you by email. You'll also receive a free gift, a download that will help you launch your journey on Instagram and take away some of the noise that goes on in your head, and really help you focus on a lane that will help you grow your following and attract more clients. All right. So right now, I'm just going to go over quickly what you're going to learn in this class. You're going to learn how to launch, not just get started, but how to launch with just 3 key elements that's going to help you to attract more clients. You're going to grow your following with posts that work, as well as what to do when they don't work. What types of posts you can choose, when to post it, sort of in a frequency, not necessarily in a schedule, but because we're not going to have time to get into that level of detail in this particular class. But you're also going to run into challenges. Everyone runs into challenges, as much as we wish we didn't have to. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. But I'm going to teach you some strategies on how to deal with that, and they're pretty simple. And then basically how you can gain confidence to move forward, because, most of us are our own worst enemy. We're in our way, and we tend to go, oh, that's not going to work, or I don't want to say that, or I don't want people to hear me say that. And then when that happens, nothing happens. We just do nothing, because often that's a safe place. Just like when you put a dog in a sit stay, they often recognize, as long as I stay here, I'm safe. but if I move, the sky can fall in. And oftentimes we get caught up in that same thing. So we're going to deal with some strategies on how to move forward. And I will commit to staying here until the end, till all your questions are answered. And save your questions till the end. That way we can keep moving forward in a hurry. Not in a hurry, but in a systematic way. And also, after the webinar is over, I will stay here until the last question is answered. There is a little quiz at the end for those that are looking for more. It's just a little quick thing to answer right now, or you can answer it later. I'm going to post a link in the chat. So a little bit about me. I am a professional dog trainer. I've been doing that for a lot of years, and I'm a doer, which is why this class is about how to do things with Instagram as opposed to the theory and the technology behind it. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had several small businesses since I was in university. As a matter of fact, I was a disc jockey in university, and that's where I started to recognize I probably was never going to be a good employee. So I started my own, many of my own companies. In 2006, I started or launched the Ontario Dog Trainer. And then just before the pandemic, I launched the Dog Trainer Training Academy, because after, over 15 years, almost 20 years now, people were coming to me and asking me for help that wanted to become dog trainers. And I recognized there was a need there that I could fill. So starting as a sort of solopreneur dog trainer with a side hustle, I've transitioned that into a six-figure business, just with paying attention, focusing forward, and now really getting to enjoy helping people just like you. My dog background is I started off as a competitive retriever trainer, trained a ton of retrievers to field trial champion level, then transitioned over to the pet dog world. And I'm a certified dog trainer at all 3 levels with the IACP, and that's the basic certification as well as advanced and as well as certified instructor for professional dog training. That's a little bit about me. And just a second here, I got a little dog disagreement happening in the background. Just a minute. There we go. So where else you can find me? I recently did a segment on CP24. I wouldn't say a frequent guest there, but I'm a regular guest there to talk about all things dog. Last week was Dog Bite Prevention Week, and I appeared on the Live at Noon on Thursday with Bakari Savage, and we talked about that. I also am a frequent or regular contributor to a local magazine called Taste of the Kawarthas. That's the most recent article, and I don't, my article's in there somewhere. And I also have a podcast, and I've been a guest on a few other podcasts. Local, this one is with Chris Ward, who is the founder of Win the Hour, Win the Day, and also with Janet McLeod, who's a local entrepreneur here in my hometown. You can follow me on any of the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Ontario Dog Trainer, as well as Instagram at Karen Laws Live and LinkedIn. So, growing Instagram for your business. Why Instagram? Why does it even matter? You know, I had that conversation for years and years. I was like, I don't really think I need that. I'm not going to do that. Who cares? Who cares? Because I'm busy enough. As if you're a professional dog trainer right now, you know that you should be busy. If you're not busy, then you're in the wrong place. Let's get this, see if we can get this to come out. There we go. So you can why does it matter? You can attract more clients, you get more referrals. This little screenshot here is just a sampling of the dogs that I've had just since the pandemic come into my business. You get opportunities to appear on television. You get invited to be a guest speaker at certain events, and businesses are looking, organizations are looking, they are tracking people on Instagram and looking for the movers and the shakers. So you can use a platform like Instagram when you do it right to build credibility and increase all of these opportunities, whether you want more clients or you want to be, invited to be a guest speaker or you want to appear on television. Not everybody does. That's why you want to pay attention to these things and do them right. You can also enhance your credibility with clients. I often have people, clients who will drive a long way to come and work directly with me in person, And the line, I mean, they get out of the car and they go, oh my God, I feel like I'm working with it. Like I'm with a celebrity. And it's just, you're just a person, but you've worked at a platform and you focused on doing things to help other people because it is about other people. And that's how you start to grow and gain that recognition and then attract more people. They learn who you are. We're going to talk about how to build your brand, how to be known, and how to have your voice heard. So you build credibility, not only with clients who need help in your industry, whether you're a dog trainer or a hairdresser or an accountant, you can use this platform to build credibility with your clients. You can convert, followers can convert to paying clients when you do it right. And we're going to talk about that tonight. Here, come on over to the corner. There we go. Bear with me with my, as I say, I'm a doer. I'm not a techno person. I'm just a doer. I just do these things. So let me make sure so we want to focus on mastering Instagram with just 3 essentials, not only to get started, but how to keep going. The first thing is plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you want to have a plan to get started. You want to plan ahead. When you're first getting started, I started in Instagram using all social media platforms a long time ago, sort of shoot from the hip, because initially when everybody was new and figuring out how long this was going to survive, it was like shoot from the hip. I'm going to post. And a lot of people are still caught up in that mode. If I just post this, then people will think it's great. That's not necessarily how it works. People are going to look for me. That's not necessarily how it works. Somebody here. There we go. So you want to have a strategy that involves what to do before you post, what your key message is going to be, how are people going to get to know you, how are you going to get recognized, how are you going to be heard, so that they see you as authentic, not just a parrot with somebody else's words. Who are you? And do you know, in your plan, you want to figure out who you are so that you can address your post in your voice, not in somebody else's. And what posts feel right for you, which is where you get into your post planning. For actually posting, not just, am I going to post a story or a reel or something else? You want to know what type of post works best for you, when to post, in other words, how much and when, what time of day, because randomness doesn't really work. Randomness in between your planning area does work, but randomness doesn't really work. And then the after post planning. So your strategy involves 3 things: before you start posting, your actual posting, and then how you manage that post afterwards to keep things moving forward. Your second thing that you want to have, your second essential, is time, because there's a lot to be done here. And if you just sort of throw it in between having lunch or watching television or training a dog or doing someone's hair or giving a massage, it's not going to work. You have to, I highly recommend you look at your day and structure and figure out when during the day you're going to work on your Instagram. I have a friend who's up at, she says, I do my Instagram at 5 o'clock in the morning. If any of you follow Robin Sharma, he talks about the 5 a.m. club, and her time to post and be creative and map out what she's going to plan on Instagram or post on Instagram for the day happens at 5 a.m. That's not when it happens for me, because that's not my most productive time. But the key is you want to, your number 2 essential is to plan a time in your day when you're going to work on your social media. And at some point, you're going to be solo to start, but managing your social media accounts can become a full-time job. And so you want to work to find your beat with your audience. And once you find that beat with your audience and with your messaging and with your voice and your consistency, all of those things start off in small bites, just like eating an elephant, 1 bite at a time. And then you're going to start testing and tweaking and find out what works best for you. And then when that does start to work best, and the train's way out of the station, then you have to think about what you need for help. How do I know, or how do you know when it's time for help? One of the ways to identify that is when your social media management becomes a full-time job and overtakes or takes up more time than what you're actually doing to grow your business, because it is part of growing your business, but it isn't the part of growing your business. So, you can be posting too much, too little. How do you know? What do you post? How do you edit videos? I mean, yeah, not everybody's an expert in all things. So It's really, as a solopreneur, ask yourself this question. As your social media strategy with Instagram starts to unfold, what's your biggest cost? Here's a hint. It's you. If you don't enjoy posting or creating videos or editing videos or following up and looking at your engagement and responding to comments, you're in your own way and you're inhibiting your growth. That's when it's time to look at bringing on someone to help. And those that work with me learn that system really quickly, because the last thing I really want to do is be spending time at midnight or 2 a.m. Editing videos. You don't actually do your best work at that time. One of the stories that I like to share with people that are working with me is how I evolved from simply a solopreneur into getting some help, was when I would have head injuries at night because my laptop would hit me in the head when I fell asleep trying to edit a video. And then I would wake up to not see the video on the screen and not know where it was. That's when it's time to get help. Someone that knows the system better than you do. So how do you discover balance in your Instagram portfolio? You know, there's 3 post types. There's reels, there's stories, or there's what we call static posts. And so what is the balance? We're going to look at all 3 types. We're going to give you some examples. And we're going to talk about the type of post, the length of videos, because there are rules, how to follow those rules, and how to stay relevant. So, you know, even though you might offer a service or you might like to post one type of post, people like to see a variation. And this can be the hardest part, to put yourself out there as opposed to just hiding behind the camera and posting things where nobody sees your face. But there's a balance between doing that as well as putting your face up there. And you also want to create posts that solicit engagement. And how do you do that? How and when do you do that? One of the biggest lessons in building your Instagram portfolio is recognizing it's okay to ask. Even if you ask people just to like your video, so you know that it resonated with you, or like your post so you know that it resonated with them, rather than just putting the information out there and walking away. It's really important to ask for people to do something. They generally, in spite of what it might seem like on the news these days, people do want to help. So one of the things that's important to remember is that it's your page. Once you determine what posts work best for you, it's your page. The challenges are going to be this: dealing with people that comment that have nothing else to do but comment. And if they had other things to do, they would be saying, yes, thanks, this is great, or scrolling on by. But no, they have to stop and they have to take your industry into their hands and expound their expertise to people who are following on your page. So remember, it's your page. You want to empathize with people that need help. You want to sympathize with people that have had challenges, and you want to be grateful for them showing up and engaging on your page. What you don't want to do, regardless of the type of post that you put up there, is you don't want to debate with people who are engaging with your posts. Don't argue and don't force your position. And you'll be accused of doing all those things. Even though you're not, you just move on. The easiest solution for people that insist or persist with those types of posts is just delete and block. That should be your new best friend. Even though you might feel you don't have enough followers to do that, it will save you and build your following in the long run, because you set your boundaries for your page, nobody else. Wrong button. There we go. Okay. So let's look at some reels. I'm going to show you some examples here of reels that work and reels that don't. For me, where I found my niche was with reaction videos. And you'll see in this one, I'm going to click on here. Oops, I got to get rid of something here. You can see here, this is a, you can hear my voice. I can turn it on, but
Doing the play-by-play.
doesn't matter. One of the things that you'll see here are captions, for 2 reasons: because captions emphasize your point, but also closed captions help people that are hearing impaired that can't hear you, and you want them to hear you. Now, this is on my Facebook page, but you can see with this was one of the first reaction videos. This was December 2023, not that long ago, but 2 million views and over 8,000 comments and 16,000 engagements. So that's a big deal. And why? It was because it was something that resonated with people. It just resonated with them. So it was the beginning of building a following, but this where at 8,000 comments, do you have time to respond to every comment? No. And should you? No. So now I've got to get out of here. I'm going to bring this down here. There we go. Close that and go back. But that particular video resonated with people. There's another one in here. I'm not sure if I can get it to come up that, oh, not that one. No, there's a different one here that, I don't know where it went. Oh, well, okay. We'll just go back and close that. Sometimes it's just the video. It's the video that you need to launch your, this is the one I want to launch. And then it sets the algorithm and people keep coming back. But in that particular video, it was a dog that, you know, the woman was in his face. The dog lunged at him. He didn't bite her. And she was like horrified because she didn't expect it. And she said he just bit me, which he didn't, because he could have ripped her face off. So my style came out in that video, and that was another sort of a launch point or a turning point. Because the reason people like my reaction videos is because I do just that. I don't try to be anybody but myself, but I do it with respect, and I deliver a message and a do and don't. Like, don't do this, do it this way instead. So that's once again, and then I'll ask a question, you know, how do you deal with it? How would you deal with this? In this particular case, there was a horrendous variety of responses and really strong opinions, but that's what, it's their opinion. This video that's coming up here, was in November of 2022. And you can see there's over 300,000 engagements. I don't have the comments. You go to insights to check this is how you check your stats. There were over 300,000 engagements and almost 3,000 comments. Once again, and 350,000 shares, which is cool, and 73,000 people saved it. But why? What was the attraction to this video? Is because it's very clear on what people can do, and it's doable. What were the criticisms on this particular video? Wasn't any criticism on the video. It was the most common comment was, "Oh, he's already trained." And he is a puppy. How could he be trained? He was 4 months old. So it's just giving them a strategy that can work and what not to do. People engage. That was the launch point. So in November of 2022, this was when I began to edit and put captions, and I realized I need somebody better than me to edit these videos. It was a turning point. I went from a few hundred followers in November to a few 100,000 by the end of January of 2023. So less than 3 months. It did happen that quickly, because it was and this post, I still get comments on this post. People still look for it, or they find it and they add comments. The other post type is in Reels is client testimonials. I don't have any here, but you can ask people to give you a testimonial as social proof that you know what you're doing. And that, you know, if they want, generally, you're not going to post ones that are negative, but you can ask them, hey, what did you like about your time with me? Would you recommend this to somebody else? They'll do it right off the bat. People are always happy to help. All you have to do is ask. Oh, I think I just skipped a page. No, there we are. The other post type are stories. And in stories, the cool thing about stories is that they're usually more personal, or in the moment type events. And it was actually stories that I started with when I first launched my Instagram page. And stories are the most popular post type on Instagram. The stats prove that. And what I like about them is they can be snappy, they can be sad, happy, or funny, and they're much quicker to create and post. You can just do like in the moment, here's a story. It won't haunt you if you make a mistake. It disappears in 24 hours. The cool thing is you can provide behind the scenes. People love behind the scenes. This is a little Boston Terrier that I call him a frequent flyer. Charlie, he's here all the time. And I don't know which Bernese Mountain Dog this is in this picture, because I've had several of them in for training. And it was just, hey, here we are walking in the field, Charlie and Ollie, and having a great time. What are you doing today? And that's so that you can, people will click on it, like it, not like it, whatever. You can also use stories to create quick Q&As, question of the day, series of questions, and also provide little educational tidbits on what you might be wanting to share with people, or something that something that they need to know, or you feel they need to know, or maybe they can ask you and they want to know. And then you can do a day in the life. I often do a day in the life of a dog trainer, and just to demonstrate to people how great it is. This is behind the scenes, this picture, but a day in the life of a dog trainer. I have several little stories. I had a puppy in the summer just at the cottage. A day in the life of a dog trainer. Who knew you could be a professional dog trainer, make money, and hang out at the cottage and still be training dogs? Just another day in the life. And you can do that with whatever your profession is. It doesn't have to be dog training, but that's what stories help. You can do. You can be away for a weekend and post a bunch of stories. They only last overnight, and 24 hours, and away they go. I also use stories, and this is going to come up a little bit later, for polls to test things, testing different ideas that you may have, to get feedback on whatever your business idea is or whatever you're thinking of at the moment. You can get people to weigh in on your idea or your suggestion and get an idea. And that way you're engaging your audience and you're letting them know that you want to do, or you want to provide material that resonates with them, not necessarily just something that you think they want to know. And oftentimes as business owners, we'll do that because we're busy. We think that we can post things that people, that we know what they want, but sometimes it's fun to ask because you might be surprised at what they tell you. And you're going to see an example of that here in a little bit. So these are some static, this is another thing you can do with static posts. Static posts or graphics, some people call them graphics, are just that. They're static posts. I find for me, these are the least successful in all of the posts that I put up there. Reels are the most successful. Stories are in between. But the static posts that work for me could be a lot different than what works for you, because you and your business and your message are unique. And static posts can reveal that. They don't move, they don't talk, but they can play music, but they provide really valuable information. And they can be a great place to make announcements, to share ideas, like you've got 5 essential commands, training tips and principles. You can also post client testimonials here, a photo of your client with, a quote of what they've said. You can provide training tips for little single ideas. You can add more to it if you want. You can also share insights. They can do things like breed spotlights or some aspect of your business. Did you know? And you can share that insight in a static post. Tons and tons of things. You can have fun with these. You can do memes. You can do behind the scenes. Whatever it is, you can also cross promote things that you've posted on your YouTube channel or that you have going on in your blog. You can also make announcements here or provide teasers on things that are coming up soon. I do static posts for my Instagram lives that happen every Tuesday at 5. So you'll notice on this, and you see it in the other themes, but you notice particularly in static posts are really the place where you are revealed. What your look and feel is. You can see some consistency here in the colors. You can see, whoops, I'm wrong. Back that up again. Consistency in the images, my sort of profile picture, and consistency in the font. So I have brand colors, I have a brand photo, and that's what people they look at that and they go, oh, that's the Interior Dog Trainer. Actually, they go, no, that's Karen Laws. That's her stuff. So I know what to expect when I see those colors and I see that language. I know it's going to hit to the point. It's going to be helpful, and it may even be a little controversial. And that's what draws people into my page. Here's some examples of posts that didn't work. And see, when you look at this, post in the chat, what's different about these posts that would make you think, who is this? There's 1. There's 2, and there's 3. So just look at those and see what, post in the comments what you see that's different between this one and the last one, and why it might not work. I'll give you a hint. This didn't work for me at all, because it looks totally different from anything I had ever posted. I had this aha moment, or this brain fart, if you might want to call it that, that possibly my my approach or my colors were too harsh, that maybe I should soften my demeanor, my approach. And I want this kumbaya thing with pastel colors and, scripty type things. So I changed my logo, I changed the colors, and my engagement went to 0. I mean, 0. None of these posts got anything. So it was like, what the hell is this about? And the lesson here is what? People want to do business with people, or they want to follow people that they know, like, and trust. That's it. This series of posts created unfamiliarity. Like, who is this? Yep. Alexa says different colors, different fonts, different styles. Exactly. Kate says no continuity. Diane, yeah, less serious font, almost cartoonish. Exactly. And people came to know me as I'm not a cartoon person. When I ask someone to do some graphic work for me, I just say, yeah, too cutesy is exactly it. And I'm just not a cutesy person. Yeah. And I do this with Canva. I get it. I don't do it. I get someone else to do it because it takes me all day to do this. I hate it. And they know that. So it just takes all day. But you're right on. That's exactly what happened. Was like, what? Who is this person? And it tanked. So, whoops, I got to go back to that for just a minute. So after seeing the numbers tank, then I went back to another static post and I did a poll. I tested my original logo, which looked sort of like this one, against two other ones, one which was this one, and another one which had all these cutesy colors and that sort of stuff in it. And after nearly 20 years of being in business, I had one lady post and said, you've been in business for 20 years, don't change it, just remarket it. Don't rebrand, just up your marketing. And she was one of my followers who've been following me for years. And your logo becomes more than just colors, becomes who you are. People see that consistently over and over. My original logo had no dog head on it. And when I posted the original against the other ones, the reason this one came up was people liked, we want to get out of controlling dogs and we want to get into more engagement with dogs. So they liked the dog head and they wanted to get rid of the leash altogether, which I didn't do. But people don't want surprises on social media. They don't want to have to solve your puzzles. And it wasn't until, I could have hired a marketing person who probably would have told me that, but I just said, oh, I think I need, maybe I need to do something different. What I really needed to do, people, was hire a video editor that could help me edit videos that had power. And that's what I did. And that's what changed. And that video editor was the person that said, you've got standard colors here. You've got a standard message. I can hear your voice when you talk to me. Let's put that in the videos and in your posts. And in less than 6 months, we went from a few hundred to a few 100,000. Thanks, Benny. And that's Benny's here as one of my assistants. He's chuckling in the background. All right. So let's post. Now you've got the goods. You kind of know what works, what doesn't. Are you ready to go? You ready to get started? Here we go. So let's look at what you need to know to actually attract your followers. You recognize that your approach and your personality, do you know how you resonate with others? I actually, just a little reveal here. I study personality styles, and I know that I can be offensive without meaning to be offensive. So your posts, the bottom line on that is your posts are unique to you. If you try to be someone else, which is what I was doing with the pastels and the cutesies and the cartoons, people sense that. And they're just going to scroll on by because you are no longer believable. You're no longer authentic. And now you become just like everybody else, trying to be something you're not. Do you know who your target audience is? Who you're even talking to? Or who you think you want to talk to? Or do you know what they like, how to keep them watching? As my business grew, as your business grows and as mine grew, your audience that's in your business now may change and evolve as your business changes and evolves. So how do you keep on top of that? Even my dog trainer school audience has evolved since I started that academy only a few years ago. From, people who didn't know, I thought my target audience must be brand new people who just want to be dog trainers. But in fact, what really resonates with me, and I can resonate back with them, are people who are dog trainers who want to be better. They already know and they want to be better, and we can have a direct conversation on those things. So how do you you've got to do that research and find out. If you have the right content, do you know what your content is? It's key. It can't just be any content. You can't just throw it up there related to your industry. It's got to reflect your values, your personality, your voice and style, as well as your brand. And it's unique to you. Once again, do you know who you are? Even when sharing posts from others, which I do in my reaction videos, you give your perspective, your voice, and content. That makes it unique to you in your content. But it's really more than that. Because in reality, your followers or your audience, they don't really care about you, honestly. They care about them. So you want to be sure that you provide posts that keep your audience engaged and watching to the end. Do you know the average watch rate? You can track these stats. The average watch rate is 5 seconds on a 90-second video. So there's some interesting stats that have come up on people on our attention span. A 90-second video, the average watch rate is like 5 to 15 seconds. So you want to know that's why you want to keep monitoring and checking to know what's working, to consistently create that content that's going to engage your audience and keep them watching till the end. That end watch rate is so important. And then you want to recognize that huge engagement doesn't happen every time. Then what? Like a sports team, you can't win them all. But with support, you can win more than what you think. And you can certainly win more than what you're winning with now. The stats on Meta show that in the right frequency and style on the platform. The stats on Meta show that in 2015, actually Microsoft did a survey that said people's attention span is 8 seconds. So if you can keep people watching your videos past 8 seconds, that's a big deal. And here's a fun fact. Goldfish have a longer attention span than humans. Goldfish can focus on one thing for 9 seconds. And right now humans focus time is 8 seconds. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is geared to the audience that you want. It's content that it's going to keep them watching, and that you have developed for you a frequency and a style on a platform that's going to be sustainable. You can't be everywhere. You can't be all things to all people. Keeping up with all of that is overwhelming. And what happens is many business owners and trainers, they say, yep, I'm going to be on this and this and this and this and this, and I'm going to post every day, and I'm going to post a video, and I'm going to post a story, and I'm going to post a static post to tell people that's what's coming up. And what ends up happening is it's like you either overthink it, so you suffer from paralysis by analysis, or you burned out almost instantly and you go, this is crazy, it's not working. So you want to get, and you can also get too close to your own content to know what really works. You don't see the sameness, but someone else looking at it from afar can take that 30,000 foot view and go, holy smokes, this is great content, but it's all about one thing. We need to mix it up. So you can have more eyes and more minds on your content. In other words, have someone that's working for you to help you see things that you can't see in yourself. What else do you need to know? So you think that's a lot? Let's go to the tech stuff. Focus on one platform. That's the primary reason. The primary reason that projects fail or people fail is with broken focus. You know, how do they train a lion with a stool that's got 3 legs on it? Because they can only focus on one thing at a time. You want to be able to define the target audience for that platform. For example, your target audience on an Instagram page might be different than your target audience in TikTok. We certainly know the demographics are different, so there's a way to figure out what is going to be most comfortable and most comfortable for you and where you want to put your efforts. Choose one that works for you and then grow that. And how do you know? Well, there's ways to track it. And then you want to be able to jump on and quickly create some 6 to 12 months of content out there that you know is going to appeal to your existing audience and attract your ideal audience. So you want to choose a frequency that's going to work for you. You want to make sure that you've got at least some idea of what's going to happen 6 to 12 months along in your content. And I know that sounds like overwhelming. That's not just shooting from the hip, because without it, it's easy to go, well, you know what? I'm going to miss today. When you build that 1% habit of every day doing the same thing, then it starts to become a habit. It's easy to keep it up. But if you just don't plan for it and think, okay, I'll do that tomorrow something else comes up, and pretty soon you've missed 2 or 3 or 4 days or weeks or months, and your audience is gone. The algorithm's not talking to you anymore, and it's not talking to your audience, and you disappear. You want to be able to engage with your audience with sincere responses. How do you do that? More than just like, and how do you manage that into your calendar? So you want to be able to map out your posts so that your content creation is sustainable, and so is your engagement with your audience. Sounds easy. But what about the tech stuff? Like, what's an Instagram profile? And how can you make that work for you to attract more clients and more followers? Because followers inevitably can convert to clients. How do you do that? How do you use your profile to make that happen? There's help available for that. And what are story highlights? You know, those little bars, I used to call them the little circles under the bar. I didn't know what they were. Story highlights. They can totally change your engagement level, as well as people that follow you, because they know where to look. How do you post a reel? Why do you post a reel, and how do you do it? It took me ages to figure out how to post a story, and I still mess it up. And how do you know if your post is working or not? In other words, are people looking at it? Do people want to look at it again? And they want to come back? Do you need an Instagram business account? Why is that important? Do you know that there's a difference between a personal account and a business account? And it not only translates to client conversion translates to money. So there's a difference between a personal account and an Instagram business account. It translates to dollars and cents. And why should you do any of it? What's your schedule to create, edit, or post? And just as importantly, responding or following up. There's so much more than that. I'm just going to check in here, see what people are saying here. Yeah. Yeah. So you know what? And that's really a good comment. We're going to get back to the sustainability here. It's about sustainability. Yeah. Yeah, Benny's number. The people want Benny's number, but sustainability. I used to try to post every day, and it was like, nope, done, collapsed. Sarah says it would be a win for you to post once a month. You know what? But once a month would be consistent. And then when you're consistent, the algorithm starts to recognize where you're coming from and when you're coming back. And that's what it takes. All right, let's move on. All right. How do you feel now after what we've talked about? Is your hair on fire? I tell you, that picture of me is real, because there have been certainly many days at the beginning of posting or getting involved in social media at all. Keep in mind, underneath those hands is hair that comes from a bottle. So most of it's gray, and it got grayer when I was trying to figure out this social media stuff. And now it's like second nature. I don't see how you can run a business without it, but I understand the complexities and the feeling of hair on fire that people who haven't got that quite engagement or that habit yet and need help to get there. I understand how you can feel. All right, because posting doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. It just means you posted. Testing, you know, that trial and error stuff and testing again, that's the new definition of insanity. How do you know what you don't know? You don't know what you don't know. And doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, especially in the fast-paced, ever-changing algorithm world of social media. It is always changing. It's almost impossible to keep up with it unless you're on it every single day, again and again and again. And how do you know what you don't know? So post in the chat, just take a minute after all we've reflected on here, post in the chat on how you're feeling about your Instagram journey and your potential to move forward. Just a couple of words, maybe 3 words that explain how you're feeling now, maybe resonate. My hair's on fire, something like that. Or I'm ready to I just know I need some help, or I think I've got this. How about those 3 options? Post in the chat. Oh, back again. Sorry, skipped a few. Let's go back. There we go. I'll just give you a few minutes to post in the chat. All right. Let's see. Don't be shy. Sarah says she needs help. Yep. Doable journey. Christine says a doable journey. Yeah. Okay. The idea is, yep. No pun. Yeah, really no pun intended. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you know what? The thing is, as a content creator, as a business owner, regardless of what your business is, we're ideas people. We have the idea. Oh, Diane, you've got so much to offer. No idea what you would post. So that's where focus comes in. Focus comes into the picture where you can say, okay, that's where that 30,000-foot view of someone that knows you better than you know yourself, or sees things in you that you don't even see. And we've had this conversation before, that can put you on that track to say, okay, let's start with an easy schedule once a month. And then we go to every other week, which is twice a month. Then we can go to once a week, but that might take 6 months longer to get there. But it's guidance and help and people that, can help you, can basically help you get started. Tracy says, why start posting on Instagram if you have a TikTok following? And should you just repost from Instagram to TikTok? That's a great question. And that's what we help. I can help you move that. But the short answer is no. Not the same posts. You can post different schedules and different content, but you don't want to take on Instagram post a TikTok or an Instagram post and just spread it the same day across everywhere. Here's why. Here's what happens. Your TikTok followers look at that and they go, oh, there's Tracy Franken. I love this post. I hear she's really big on Instagram. I'm going to flip over there and see what she's doing. And they go to Instagram and they go, well, here's the same post that was on TikTok. So I'm not going to waste my time on Instagram. And in fact, I'm going to unfollow her on Instagram because I can see what she's doing on TikTok. And then, well, maybe not. So they start to get confused, but yet some people who are on Instagram aren't on TikTok, or if they are, they come in a week later, and this is where repurposing comes in. They're on a week later, and they see a post that was on TikTok, but they've forgotten, because remember that 8-second rule. We're only thinking about things for 8 seconds. And Kim says, what about if you're more used to Facebook posting than Instagram? Meta has a cross posting when you have, that's the advantage of a business account. It goes across everywhere. On both, it can go both ways. Sarah says, my biggest thing is I get so anxious about differing opinions from mine or people posting bad reviews. Exactly. And you're scared of people thinking that you suck and don't actually know anything. And you know what? That's what we call imposter syndrome. And that's why help is so vital, to work on those strategies to get you through that. I think every business owner and every coach, regardless of how big they are, whether they've got hundreds of thousands of followers or a few followers or 1 million followers, imposter syndrome kicks in and they have somebody helping them navigate through it. And that's what I'm here for. All right, let's move on here. See what's going on. So imagine if you had help from someone who's done that, been there, done that. It's great when your approach works, and it will work for a short time. But if you have this, and I know energetics for sure, whenever you got high energy, you post, and then pretty soon you realize that you're spending all your time posting and not any time working with your clients, or somebody shows up and they're like, oh, you're kind of in my way here, man. Like, I'm trying to do a Facebook post. Can you just come back tomorrow? That doesn't work. But what to do when it doesn't work? This is the point where most people just fade away, or if you're really into your business and you've been doing it for a long time, and this is so typical of dog trainers, you put your heads down and you just continue to do the work. You work hard in your business and not on your business. And pretty soon you're a master at massage, you're at dog training or at yoga, but no one knows it, because you've got your handful of clients that might be a few hundred clients, but no one is out there seeing the bigger you, offering to work closer with you. And here's why this is, you're going to see how this matters shortly. Because remember what I said earlier, organizations, businesses are looking for the movers and the shakers. If you remember back to the slide where it showed the matrix of all the dog heads, it also showed getting more clients, a television appearance, and the Smack, the dog food things in the corner. The business owners of Smack reached out to me because I had mentioned on one of my Instagram lives how I had discovered Smack, and a client had recommended it to me, and they reached out. They saw my following and they reached out to me to become an affiliate. Affiliate marketing is huge in social media, Instagram and Facebook. Once you get past a certain number of followers with a certain type of account, you can become an affiliate. You can offer, or people will seek you out, and you can make literally tens of thousands of dollars as an affiliate, simply recommending or using someone else's product without having to create certain posts. You can simply recommend. Tons of ways to do that once you build your following to a certain level. So as I said at the beginning, this program, the way I've described this here is the way I coach my students. Generic programs are just that. There's tons of online offerings that say, click here, send me your, $3.95, and you're going to learn how to how to build an Instagram account. But imagine if you could get personal attention, just that one-on-one coaching from someone like me that's been there, done that. Run the gauntlet, hair on fire, all that stuff. Sleepless nights, being banged in the head with my laptop when I was trying to edit videos that I shouldn't be editing, or create posts that I need help with. I can guide you through all of that gauntlet, through all those things that we've discussed up till now, and even more, so that you can come out on the other side with your personal secret sauce to extinguish that flame, ease your stress, develop a system that's going to be unique to you and your business. Is that something that's interesting to you? If it is, type yes in the chat if you'd like to get some help with that. Just type yes. That's all you have to do. Type yes or no if it doesn't interest you. You know what? You don't have to go on this journey alone. And that's where most of us go as business owners, as experts, technical experts in our field. If you've read the book, oh my God, E-Myth Revisited, there's 3 pillars to business success, but most of us get stuck in the first pillar of technical expertise. And that's because we're good at what we do. We love it. And we forget at the end of the day, there's all this other stuff. But most importantly, in 2024, there's that sharing and engaging and bringing people from the boundaries are endless from all over the world. But imagine having that personal support in a safe environment, in a safe space, with experienced coaching and support that's going to guide you through that maze with a system, because I have created a system. I don't shoot from the hip anymore. I've created that system that's easy to navigate, that's easy for me to teach and get the results that you want, that highlights your uniqueness. This isn't do it my way because it's my way. This is let's find your passion, your voice, and let's apply this system to bring out your voice. Here's what I'm going to teach. I teach you how to get more clients using Instagram as your platform to build business recognition and to find your voice, how to get more eyes on your content with hooks and hashtags. What's a hashtag? Oh my God. Managing your time in your calendar so that you don't get overwhelmed and end up just flatlining or worse, crashing. Even building creative videos and what tools you need to make that happen, that the easiest tools to get started, and how to power up your engagement and grow even faster, because there's tips and tricks that are unique to you, that more than just clicking on the like button. And how to make your profile, your Instagram profile, is the most important element in all of your Instagram account, and how to make that work for you, not only for growth and more clients, but for monetization. In other words, how you can make money with Instagram. And so much more than that. All of it's unique to you, your personal brand, and your goals. So here's what some of the people are saying. Some of the students that I've worked with. First of all, let's check in on the chat here and see who's typing in. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Okay, good. You're going to see where that's going to take us here in a minute. Just if I can get back to the right button. Here we go. So we have, your mentoring is pure gold. Here's what some of my academy, my dog trainer, and my Instagram following social media students are saying. Thanks for providing the clarity and getting me beyond overthinking mode. And you've heard some people in the chats have said that, like, oh my, like I'm worried what people are going to think. I worry that I've got so many ideas. I just don't know how to separate them. Yep. My Instagram following grew by more than 30% in less than a month, and my new business is booming, just simply by getting clarity and focusing and developing a voice and a brand and a color scheme. And here's another one. I was out of commission for nearly a month. And thanks to your system, this is to me, my system, thanks for your system and support, my Instagram following more than doubled during that same time. And my business is busier than ever. So if this sounds like something that you want to feel or experience, once again, just type yes in the chat box. So here's what I can offer. So I have a coaching program specific. I mean, it's specific to, it's not specific to anything. It's specific to small business owners is what it is, whether you're a dog trainer or anything else. My system that I've created for my dog training business has that ability to be applicable to whatever you want to achieve. We can start off with a basic audit of your Instagram page, and we go, there's 3 different levels right up to a full done for you program where we do templates, posts, audit your post, track your response, give you the whole system on how to make this grow. And that's a 12-month program. So when you fill out that form, you'll see when we meet, there's going to be, you see the range of options, a range of prices in there. And then if you're ready to invest, because this is not, not without some investment, both in time and money. So that's what that talks about. Here's what you can expect when you log into the VIP or launch a VIP program with me. You're going to learn a system that's going to help you to attract more clients, and you're going to enjoy that Instagram journey. Before we cut out there, I was telling you how when I started with Instagram, I didn't enjoy it. And it was, I was at a business networking event, handing out business cards when someone said to me, have you ever tried Instagram? I go, are you kidding me? Like, don't talk to me about that. This was a long time ago. And she said, well, you just do this, and this, just do stories. And it goes, and it'll do this. Then they go away. So you don't have to worry if you do it wrong. And she was right. That was the beginning of it. That's how I started it. So you can, and I didn't enjoy it for a while, but until I started working at it. Now I have a system that I can teach you easily. It's easily transferable so that you don't have to set your hair on fire. And once a month, if that's what your schedule allows, then that's what we do. Because ultimately you want to build that reputation that reflects you and your brand. Anything else but you. Don't try to be you. We want to avoid time in the team, but there's also little nuances and little tips and tricks along the way that will be unique to you again, but also that are generic that often people miss if they don't have someone helping you. And particularly Instagram is a powerful medium to make money that a lot of people also haven't tapped into. It's as simple as that. Oop. So, so I'm almost gone again. So if I disappear, hang on, but you will get you've got the link. You haven't, you're going to get all of this by email anyways in a follow-up. So click on the link that I just posted in the chat, and you will receive a link to my calendar in 24 hours to book a Zoom call. And so we can get to know each other a whole lot better. And congratulations, those that are still here at the end, or those actually, you know what's going to happen because I cut out and people probably disappeared because of that. You're going to check your inbox within 24 to 48 hours. You're going to get your personal certificate for attendance, as well as your link to your free gift, which is a content calendar that you can start to build. These are examples of things that you can use for content and color coding to build your own content calendar in 2024. Oh, yep. And that I've already put the link in there, but here it is again. This is what it looks like. I'm going to copy that link, and I'm going to stop the share.